That's the B17. Sally B.
Running in from our right to start our US Air Force 70th anniversary commemoration. The sole example of its type flying in Europe today. This is Boeing B17G Flying Fortress, Sally B. Aviation began around the dawn of the 20th century. The Aeronautical Division of the US Army Signals Corps was founded on the 1st of August 1907. That was followed by the US Army Air Service in May 1918, the Army Air Corps in 1926, and then in 1941, the US Army Air Force. All the while there were many proponents of an independent air arm, and that was finally achieved with the foundation of the US Air Force itself on the 18th of September 1947. Now the Air Force was a full partner in the US Armed Services alongside the Army and Navy. But the B-17 that we see here takes us back to the era of US Army Air Corps, particularly the Army Air Force. It was the Corps that requested a new multi-engine bomber in the mid-1930s. That request was taken up by Boeing, a design known as the model 299. It was designed with first flight in July 1935. It took less than a year. That was the aircraft that became the B-17.
Before you are to start moving with the opposite direction of the bird. Ready to opposite direction of the bird.
Only around 150 were in service with the Army Air Force by the time of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor that brought America into the war on the 7th of December 1941. The Royal Air Force was another early user, albeit with not much in the way of success. Number 90 Squadron was the first RAF unit to fly with the Fortress. By the time daylight raids were abandoned by RAF Bomber Command, half of that squadron's missions with the Fortress had been aborted without bombs being dropped. That experience shows the B-17 needed better defense armament, a bigger bomb load, better bomb aiding equipment. When US Army Air Force aircraft of the 8th Air Force began to be stationed in the UK during 1942 for operations in the European theatre, it would have all of those on its early B-17. The first flying fortress raid by the 8th Air Force, made by the 97th Bomb Group stationed at Holbrook in Northamptonshire, was supported by Royal Air Force Spitfires. The marshalling yards, the railroads at Rouen in France in August 75 years ago this year. And in this piece of audio, you can hear some period accounts of what it was like to fly on a B-17 on one of the early 1942 raids by the 8th Air Force over Germany.
The fortress proceeded flattened down, gathering way and length, out toward the coast, out toward the enemy. The ground crew watching and hoping, their half of the job done. Now the ship is operating
Based on the weather, we're going to
where the way our fortune planned. Keeping station, each plane helps to cover the other. Together they make one round, bristling hedgehog of fire. The pale, glimmering English sun, and the English fields check from Massachusetts, Idaho, and Kentucky. A long, long way from home. The target is a railroad yard. They come in from the northeast in tight formation, very high, visible from the and make their bombing run as well. All the way the bombardiers shout. All b17G.
If you could give us 1 minute warning.
Germany, as I said, but to France in the summer of 1942. The main 8th Air Force tactic was daylight raids against German industrial facilities and transport and resupply networks, the likes of rail marshalling yards and rail junctions. But initially there was no escort fighter available to escort the B-17s and their colleagues, the consolidated B-24 Liberators, all the way to their targets. Later, however, the likes of the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt and aircraft we're about to see, the North American P-51 Mustang, changed all that. They could accompany the bombers deep into Germany and come back. Losses decreased as the Allies gained air superiority, though flak was still a danger, even to the legendarily tough B-17. Conditions on board the 8th Air Force heavy bombers at altitude were pretty hellish, noisy, it was cold, there was little in the way of protective armour plating or personal protective equipment, and of course that's even before one thinks of the threat of enemy action. B-17 itself carried on being used by the post-war US Air Force. They were used for weather reconnaissance duties during the Berlin airlift, and they were used for search and rescue support, for example during the Korean War, carrying a 27-foot-long airborne lifeboat under the fuselage. This B-17G model dated from 1945, the sole airworthy B-17 remaining in Europe, privately operated by IWS Duxford by B-17 Preservation Limited, under the remarkable leadership of the aircraft operator Ellie Sallingboe. It's incredible to think that a 4-engine heavy bomber from the Second World War has remained operational in private hands with nothing in the way of official support on the UK and European display circuit for now 42 years. There have been tough times along the way, always the aircraft has bounced back. That in no small part thanks to the generosity of the worldwide membership of the Sally B Supporters Club. All the funds raised by the club go towards the continued maintenance of this aircraft in airworthy condition as a memorial to the men of the United States Army Air Force in smoke-on engines simulating an aircraft returning from a raid.
Negative, 2 minutes. Roger, port fully ready. Port fully ready.
That final pass, as always, dedicated to the members of the Sally B Supporters Club. You can join us and find out more details by going to the website www.sallyb.org. Indeed, it's not just the American airmen who Sally B pays continued tribute, but the sacrifice made by all Allied airmen during the Second World War. 12,731 B-17s in total were produced by different companies, this one by the Lockheed Vega plant at Burbank, California. Still based at IWS Duxford today, Sally B, which isn't going to be landing here, was flown for us by Andrew Dixon and Roger Mills.
Decimal 550, bye-bye.
3550, bye-bye.